You can practically see it from here.
What?
Home.
Hello everyone! Welcome to yet another week in CineWeek. I really like doing that. This is the movie show where we bring you what's coming to theaters this coming weekend, talk about some trending news or a great topic of our choosing, and we give out some predictions on who's going to win the weekend ahead. So, starting it out, movies coming out this weekend, July 21st weekend. We've got Dunkirk, which is super exciting. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, Girls Trip, Landline, and The Midwife. Now, 3 of these I could care less about.
Couldn't care less about.
Couldn't care, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Couldn't care less about. Thank you guys. Dunkirk and Valerian both really intrigue me. Obviously Nolan and Dunkirk. That's going to be an exciting movie right there.
Pretty excited
and
for it.
Valerian, Luc Besson. I really am looking forward to another Fifth Element style movie. What about you, Ransom?
Dunkirk looks amazing.
Gosh, you two have been so excited for this movie.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the soundtrack? The first example of it, Supermarine. Oh my God, whew,
Yeah.
heart's racing.
Yeah. I mean, you've got talent from Cillian Murphy, my boy. You've got Tom Hardy. You've got Kenneth Branagh, and you even have Harry Styles.
I was gonna say, isn't that the movie that he's in?
Yeah.
Apparently, Nolan didn't know that Harry Styles was famous.
Really?
Really?
No, that's great.
Actually, that's fantastic. That makes
Thank
me
you.
Well, I think that speaks volumes to how well he'll probably do in this movie, too.
Yeah,
I hope so.
If it's based off of simply like his acting, then
Good for him.
fantastic, awesome. So you've got great talent there. Valerian, I've looked into the comic book a little, and I love Fifth Element. So I really hope that one's good. And then the other 3 I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Casey?
So, out of the 5, I would say I'm most excited for Dunkirk. And probably not as excited as you guys, though. And for reasons that I'll get in a little bit later in this show, I'm not excited for Valerian. Not
nice.
even a little bit.
Yeah.
Girls Trip, I need to talk about this for a second.
Oh.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and Girls Trip has this really annoying preview or trailer for the movie. They literally, oh my God, I can't even, it's so annoying. I want to throw my phone at the wall every time it comes on, and that was probably the worst thing they could have used to advertise this movie. I think it's going to turn a lot of people off. Something about marijuana, shoving it up buttholes to get through security.
You know I got some bomb-ass kush if you want to take a hit.
Where did you hide?
Where the sun don't shine.
You know what? That can cause a lot of infection.
Girl, you can't get no infection in your booty hole.
Which I guess some people find
I've
funny.
seen that trailer too, now that you mention it. Yeah, I didn't like that.
It's just annoying. So, and then Landline and Midwife, I've never even heard of those.
Yeah, they're pretty forgettable. What about you, Katy?
Dunkirk, for sure. Definitely not as excited as you two, but I am excited because Kenneth Branagh, every time he's in anything...
Wait.
He was Gilderoy Lockhart, so I love him. Every time he's in any movie, I will bring up that song. I don't care what kind of role. I always sing the Gilderoy Lockhart song.
Quick side note, she always goes right to my ear and just whispers it every time we go to a movie that he's in.
That's
Yeah.
great.
You should watch his version of Macbeth then.
Yes.
So good.
Oh
You
my
should
gosh.
watch Much Ado About Nothing.
I have seen Much Ado About
Okay.
Nothing.
I fixed that.
Yes. I've seen the previews for Girls Trip, and they keep coming out with all these like hangover style movies. I'm just not into it anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah, it's been like a decade now.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Valerian, I actually haven't seen anything for, so sorry, and I haven't even heard of Landline or The Midwife. So Dunkirk for sure. I'm into it. Also, it just looks epic. It just
Absolutely.
looks like
Well, it's Christopher
man.
Nolan. It's
Yeah.
gonna be epic.
It's gonna be a long movie. It's gonna be emotional, but it's gonna be great. So I have no worries about that movie at all,
Yeah,
and I'm
can't
very
argue with
excited to
that.
see it.
So I think bridging from that, predictions. Dunkirk number 1 for sure.
Dunkirk.
I'm thinking Spider-Man Homecoming gonna get a second. I'm thinking Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets in third. I think people want to go see a Fifth Element movie, but they don't completely trust Luc Besson in the States yet after Lucy, even though I know that worldwide it's going to make
Didn't it do
tons
really
of money.
good? Didn't Lucy do really well everywhere else?
Worldwide it did, but I think for this one we mainly get box office totals from the US market.
Mm-hmm.
So predicting USA tendencies, I think Valerian will come in third.
So you don't think Apes is going to be on there at all?
I don't think so. I think
Really?
Apes is
See,
like
I
a
do.
one and done. Unfortunately, I think it gets the people in that want to go see it, and then it's gonna still make money the other weeks. But you have two big movies following a movie that's already made tons of money that is getting more people to come back every time. So, but that's where my head's at. What about you, Katie?
I'm gonna go Dunkirk 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go Spider-Man: Homecoming, but I'm gonna say Apes third. I think
Nice.
that Apes is a good trilogy, and I think that people aren't rushing out to see it, and they'll see it in their own time.
Okay, Casey.
I think we're all in agreement on Dunkirk, but I think Apes is going to take the second place next
Second.
weekend.
Okay.
And then I think Homecoming is going to be
Third. So Valerian not even in there.
No one knows what it is. No one likes Cara Delevingne, which I'll get into later. And I mean, you guys know what it is because you guys are part of like that comic book world. I'm just getting into it. I've never heard of it before these previews.
Well, I had never heard of the property myself before until we saw the teaser, but I am such a Fifth Element fanboy. I love that movie so much. So that's why I want to give this a chance, but I hear you. You're probably right.
I don't think there are going to be enough Fifth Element people that are going to want to see the two people that star in this movie. I mean, you're going from like what, Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah.
To fucking Cara Delevingne. No one who's a Bruce Willis fan is gonna want to see this movie because of who stars in it.
Well, and then let alone, oh man, the male lead here.
I don't even know
I
his
don't know
name.
why I'm
I know
forgetting
his
his name.
face.
Because I've seen him everywhere, and I like him, but he's not well known enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
I
Ransom?
don't think it's gonna do well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Katie on this one. Dunkirk first, second Homecoming, and then third Apes. I think because Apes was a good movie. I don't think it's necessary to watch a second time. But I think a lot of people will be going to go see it just because of how well it's had reviews for, and that it's people are saying that it's one of the great trilogies.
Yeah, in movies now.
Yeah.
So okay, good points. Good points all around. All right. Well, for this week, we don't have a news piece to talk about. There were a couple of little things that happened, but we didn't feel like we could really talk on anything specific. So we thought to ourselves, because of Spider-Man: Homecoming and how great Michael Keaton was in that as the Vulture, what are our favorite superhero villains, best and worst? So why don't we start this off with you, Casey, since you've been kind of teasing this so
All
far.
right,
in the
time to
episode.
sip some beer. While
Yeah,
I
good
look,
call.
This is
Okay,
it's good.
I'm gonna start off with my best one, and we're gonna get a little dark right now. I think the best superhero villain would be Heath Ledger's Joker, because it was an influence to a huge tragedy very close to home, and how do I put this sensitively? Heath Ledger's Joker not only altered his own life because he got so far into that really super fucked up, manipulative, like just psychotic serial killer mind, but then you've got James Holmes who saw Heath Ledger's Joker and just went off on this huge, terrible tragedy. And I just think that a villain... Never mind. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to be insensitive to the families that were involved.
Of course.
But I don't think it can be ignored, just how dark Heath Ledger's Joker was.
He really put his heart and soul, his whole life into that role.
And that's what the I think the incredible tragedy about it is, but it's one that you have to respect, at least on the acting side. Absolutely.
Then for the worst one,
Oh man, here we go.
Not that Suicide Squad was a great movie by any means, but I think one of the reasons that it was not very good was because of the villain. 2 reasons. 1, why is Cara Delevingne acting? Who thought that would be a good idea?
I have no idea.
I guess she thought it was.
She came out in Paper Towns. That was like her biggest debut.
And she still wasn't even good. I just spit all over the place.
So, she's very upset.
1, I'm not even sure what she's doing in movies, and that's why I don't think Fifth Element fans are gonna go see Valerian because of her. And 2, any villain that thinks like shaking like this is terrifying, it's not. She's a white woman playing
it was like a witch that was from like Egyptian times, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, she was empowered by an Egyptian curse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the actual person was, just a regular, United States citizen. So I guess that's fine.
Whatever.
But then the witch itself was Egyptian. So all that does is that they put her in gothic makeup and, ask her to dance weirdly around.
And wear like no clothes and dance weird. And I don't even think she said anything. And if she did, I don't even remember it because she did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. No, it's totally fine.
Suicide Squad was an alright movie. It was entertaining, I think. But she was probably the reason I hated that movie.
So specifically,
yeah.
Okay, that's totally fair.
So those are my 2.
Yeah, good reasons.
like it.
What about you, Ransom?
So for me, my the best villain that I've seen, we had the same ones, so we figured it out. So I'm gonna say Baron Zemo. From Civil War, because if you think about the story and plot development that they've been building up in all of these movies, we've never seen one that has had such impact to the plot as Baron Zemo.
He tore that.
He tore
them apart.
He tore 2 friends apart and split sides. So Infinity Wars, there's going to have to be a lot of building up and trying to defeat Thanos.
One could argue that he was the Joker of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
True.
Right, because Joker was just
he manipulates.
crazy...
He manipulates.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think... And the acting was fantastic. It changed how we see superhero villains and how they're not always, super powered...
Superhumans?
Yeah,
superhumans. He was a Joe Schmo.
Yeah, he was just a regular guy. His family had been killed by the effects from Ultron and Sokovia, so he decided to take vengeance on the entire Avengers.
And it was an awesome gateway into giving us the character of Black Panther as well.
Yeah.
Because you see at the end... he is able to not repeat the mistakes of Zemo, where he's all about revenge. He actually gains forgiveness and pities Zemo, thus releasing him from his hatred for what Zemo had done to his father.
All about his acceptance of his
full
loss.
circle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Full circle.
It's fantastic. So I thought that was awesome. My worst, I'm gonna say Doomsday from Batman v Superman.
What even was that movie anyway?
I don't even think I saw it.
Martha! Why did you say that name? Every time. I have to do it.
Yeah. That movie was something. Well, it's just that
I did see
it followed the plot of the villain and how that it does kill Superman. Which
Spoilers.
eventually doesn't actually kill Superman.
Spoilers again.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wait, you mean that dust that flew off the coffin wasn't a spoiler?
That wasn't just wind?
That wasn't wind.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, I just thought it was particularly cold that day.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Doomsday was not created by Lex Luthor's kid, who is stupid, and it should have just been Lex Luthor anyways in the movie. It wasn't a scientific creation based off of the blood of
dead Kryptons.
Kryptons, and specifically the body of General Zod. Because Doomsday was just like a creation. He was just an entity of the universe, and his sole purpose, his whole reason of being alive was to kill Superman. And
Well, kill everything.
well, yeah, pretty much
like,
just
then
demolish
Superman,
everything. But eventually, specifically Superman. And it just it fell short. He came out in the end of the movie, and then they did a little struggling, and then Superman gave up his life. And it wasn't even really the fact that it was Doomsday that killed him.
Yeah, and it is also annoying too because it was a prime example of one of the other big things I think DC movies lately have been getting a lot of discredit for. Their CGI, specifically on the villains.
Yeah, and that's no fun, when your CGI is crap on this huge, supposed to be terrifying villain, but it you can't help but notice that, wow, that really doesn't look realistic. It was just it didn't actually feel like Doomsday had an actual impact on the movie at all.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you
whatsoever.
guys. I saw that movie. First of all, I forgot that I saw that movie. Second of all, I don't even remember Doomsday in it.
He's in the last couple seconds.
They don't even mention that it is
You
Doomsday.
know what?
I don't think they ever say the name, do they?
I don't remember
No.
what he looks like.
Yeah.
I don't remember how it spawned.
Wait. I think now that I think, I'm so sorry. They do mention it because I think he says specifically, "This will be your doomsday."
It's like, great,
If you're
Jesse.
just a villain,
Thanks,
don't be
Jesse,
a
I
dick
remember.
about
Honestly,
it.
the only thing I remember that movie was Wonder Woman's
Oh yeah,
introduction. I don't remember the villain at all. Like at the very end, Doomsday. I like.
and
I
that's
remember
because
Amy
he's-
Adams just
yeah.
being a fucking idiot.
She
That's what
tried
I
to get
remember about that movie.
Pissed me off about that.
Right.
That movie was just bad. Anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
So,
Doomsday.
going on. Yeah.
Doomsday.
Katy.
That was Doomsday. Okay, hi. So I'm gonna go a little bit different with my favorite villain. Mine, and because this is a superhero movie, just saying, from The Incredibles, Syndrome.
Yay!
I love that guy. Also, every time I see somebody with really crazy red hair, I'm just like, oh my god, it's him. The reason I like him though is because he wanted to be Mr. Incredible so badly.
Ready for takeoff.
Mr. Incredible. Anyway, point is, he wanted to be him so bad, and then he got so angry in that angst in him turned him around. Having so much love and admiration for somebody being rejected turned him to be this. I mean, granted, it's a Disney movie, and he was just like ridiculous at the end. But I just think he's great. That whole like story arc, I think, is just really interesting to take of somebody who, because Disney movies, a lot of kids look at it like, oh, I want to be that princess, or oh, I want to be that hero, or oh, I want to be this person. You don't think of what the reality of not being able to be that person can do to somebody.
Vanity.
Yeah.
So I think that story arc is really interesting, and also The Incredibles is great. Shout out to Incredibles 2 coming out next June.
Woo!
Least favorite. Least favorite, and I think the reason I'm saying this is because I hated the movie so much. But Doctor Doom from freaking Fantastic Four, the latest Fantastic Four, not that any of them are good, but this one was particularly shitty. He was, gosh, okay, do you remember seeing this movie? My eyes hurt so
I
bad
try to
during
forget,
that movie because I
but
kept rolling them so much.
It's one of my greatest rants of all time.
I was gonna
So
say
remember.
that's what started your movie rant.
Yes,
that's what started
fantastic.
your movie reviews.
One of the best videos, if you can find it, is Anthony's
Facebook.
rant on Facebook about Fantastic Four. I remember going to see this movie with him, and we walked out, and we were just like, what? Like, what? So that's, I think, why I don't like this villain so much, is because he was so pathetic. He was, oh, I've been in the goo for a really long time, and now I'm mad at you guys. Really?
And
Like,
then-
come on.
And then he has like these telekinesis powers, and then suddenly, we get, it's clobbering time, and he's not doing anything against them. He should be able to blow up their heads according
if
to
he's-
the
yeah.
rules set in this movie.
Yeah,
Why
they
didn't he just
say
fucking do
with
that?
all of the stuff that's happened to the Fantastic
Idiot.
Four, all the powers that they've gotten, this guy has been there for however long that this guy's been on this scary goo planet. I mean, if the Fantastic Four people just
Scary
got
goo
blasted with it and they're like, oh, I got stretchy powers. Oh, I'm a big giant rock. This guy's probably got way more going on for him than they do. Yet, he gets his ass whooped. It's totally unrealistic,
sucks.
and that movie was bullshit, and if they ever try and make another Fantastic Four again, I'm just going to go just
They've
die.
been in talks.
No!
Are you serious?
No!
Really quickly though, I want to say how funny it is the fact that both Human Torches from both Fantastic Four sagas
Are now in
are
Marvel
now in Marvel
movies.
movies.
Thank
They're now
God
part of
for
the
their
MCU.
redemption, because they are
Yeah.
arguably the best parts
Exactly.
of those movies, because they come
Yeah.
out and they're fun.
So, Syndrome, favorite, least favorite, Doctor Doom for being a pathetic little bitch.
Nice.
So,
Good reasons. For me, my favorite has to be both versions of Magneto. Both Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender do incredible jobs as that character. I mean, he's such an understanding character, because he comes from the point of wanting to defend people that are being prejudiced against. You know, like, they are being systematically annihilated by humanity because they're afraid of what they can become. And instead of Professor X, who wants to explore the cooperative and coexistion, or wow, what's the word for that?
Coexistence?
Thank you.
Hey,
Coexistence
yeah.
between mutants and humanity. He's just like, no, apparently this doesn't work. He's the Malcolm X to Martin Luther King. So
anyway, sorry.
that's why I love him so much, and both of those actors bring the two sides of his life together so well. You know, Michael Fassbender's so emotional, and Ian McKellen's so, like, stern and serious, but still getting that emotional side as well. So it's perfect. I love them so much, and I love X-Men so much, the movies.
Oh, look at he's hugging himself.
Yeah, I know. Memories. Just
Wait,
forget
the
X3.
the
Just
originals?
forget X3 and
The
Origins.
originals or the new ones?
Both.
Because weren't you not a huge fan of Apocalypse?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I thought it got
good.
really unfair negativity
Agreed.
towards
Really-
it.
it was really
good,
enjoyable.
Okay. I
Yeah.
really liked it too. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
go
enjoyed
on.
the movie. Worst. Oh man, this one took me a minute to, like, come to terms with, because there are a couple of villains, as we know in superhero movies, that aren't so good. But I think the best example of where you just miss the mark is, unfortunately, Venom from Spider-Man 3. Like, God, I love that 70s show so much. But did I ever imagine Topher Grace
cannot
as
be a villain.
Brody? You know, like, no.
You can't spike his hair and highlight the tips.
And he was
call him
acting like a
villain.
jock, and it's like,
And-
dude, you are skinny.
You're Eric.
And stupid.
The
Yeah.
only way that Topher Grace can be, like, a villain is if he's just a sarcastic asshole.
Yeah.
And that's what he
Like-
tried to be, but, like,
Yeah.
that's
very
not what
villainous.
Venom
That's not Venom.
is. Yeah. That movie
That
just
makes
did
me
not
laugh
work.
the
so
whole
hard.
movie was just
Oh yeah,
awful.
I mean, because then you put in. Unfortunately, I feel so bad for him, but Franco, into the mix as the replacement
No, the
Green
replacement
Goblin, which is not as good as William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Because the only good thing that he got was the brotherhood aspect with Spider-Man. So when you take that away, then you really don't give a shit about him or anything that he's doing. He comes off as like a whiny, arrogant bitch.
And-
Just like, unfortunately, in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They made the same mistake again.
And his whole, like, reasoning but by being Green Goblin was to make his father's legacy come true, and, like, it wasn't actually that he hated Spider-Man or anything like that.
Yeah, he had daddy issues.
Yeah.
Well, and then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man transformation,
Well,
just in
he's
that movie
jealous.
alone.
Yeah, and then not only that, but you add the fact that that was arguably the worst Spider-Man, because they totally make him out to be an emo, crazy, vain person in the beginning, and then when he gets out of it, then you're just left with, Tobey Maguire just, doing that, like, whiny face that he does in Spider-Man. I don't like it.
The worst
Yeah.
thing is when he's, like, trying to look strong and stuff, but
Yes!
then he ends up looking like he's crying.
Yes!
And, like,
That's
taking
what
a
I'm
really
saying!
hard shit.
Yes!
I think we can all agree that was probably the worst superhero movie.
I don't know.
Spider-Man
Fantastic Four was pretty fucking
Oh,
bad.
I guess I've never seen it.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting that I've realized? All of our favorite villains come from really good movies, I feel.
Yeah.
And all of our shit
Well, it's
villains.
the villains that make the movie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just
Some-
interesting.
yeah,
I wonder
most
if,
of the
like,
time.
if Spider-Man was better, or if, Fantastic Four better, or BVS was better, or if Suicide Squad was better, like, overall. if the villain would have affected that movie that much, and if we would hate the villain that much.
I think especially in Suicide Squad, if the villain were better, it would have had better reviews.
Oh yeah.
I think that's true, and it's also like you were just saying a minute ago. I think very much with superhero movies, the best ones, you get a great hero, but an equally competent villain, and one that you understand, even if you don't get what's the right way? You understand what they're doing, even if you don't like it.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I can get why you're being a
Joker,
dick.
he's anarchistic, he's insanity. But you get why he's like that because he's just pure chaos.
You understand
can't
his
reason.
reasoning, but-
You can't reason with him, but you understand why he
understand
is.
his
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, and I think we should have to get, because you mentioned him, and I was thinking on this for a while. Honorable mention to Loki.
Yeah.
As a
I'll-
villain.
Oh, yeah,
always.
he's one of my
great.
favorite villains.
He's great, and
Yeah.
you mentioned him, and I was
I
going
mean,
to put him as my favorite.
When you
but
live in someone's shadow and then you find out that you're not even part of the race that you were born, that you thought you like.
yeah, I'd be pissed too.
Well, and I think he joins the ranks of people like Magneto, where they're like, yeah, they're villains, but they're really more of anti-heroes
Well,
when you really get down to it.
and-
I don't think anyone can say they hate Loki.
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
You know, because
and you
I
can't
love
hate Magneto
Loki.
either.
No.
Well, and
No.
I think the greatest thing about Loki is how well the MCU has done to have him still be a part of the story. Because the one thing that I thought,
that's
like,
true.
in the first Thor, I thought he was just going to be, like, there for
No, but he's
one
been
movie.
he's been intertwined. I mean, he was in Avengers. Then he was in
Dark World.
Dark World. But he's gonna come back because
Well-
of how Dark World ended.
but it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense why he's reoccurring. And that's just like the comic books.
Well, I think-
Marvel comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
He does a really good. I think he's a really good villain because because at first you can't trust him, but then in Dark World you do trust him, but then in the same movie you don't trust him again, and I think that's a really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and I can't wait for Ragnarok.
Oh,
I think he's going to be
Yeah.
great in that movie. Obviously, not the biggest focus because, we have to see where Hela's going with this because I cannot wait for her.
yeah.
So, but I think they're going to be a little intertwined where, again, Loki comes back and he's like, okay, I'll help you guys, but he has his own schemes and machinations
Right.
He's like,
working
this
in
is
the
somehow
background.
going to benefit me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
of course.
Oh, I
always.
love him.
So, I think we broke that down pretty well.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. Good talk. Good
Yeah,
talk,
definitely
guys.
some good villains and some
shit.
ones. Okay, so box office movie games so far. So after last week, Apes definitely did sweep. And since that was, I think, the last week that we were only doing number ones, technically we are all still in the same place. Because
'Cause we-
Spider-Man won, and then
Yep.
War did.
Yep, and apes.
Yeah.
Ape.
So I'm really intrigued to see how the movie game progresses now that we're adding in second and thirds, because then we're going to start to see some rivalries come up between
Oh
all
yeah,
of us.
Ransom, you and I
It's
are on
gonna
the
be
same
fun.
team, so you and I can be friends this week.
Yeah.
Screw you guys.
Just as a quick recap, Ransom, what were your three?
Dunkirk, Spider-Man, then Apes.
Casey?
Mine was Dunkirk, Apes, Homecoming.
Dunkirk, Spider-Man, apes.
Dunkirk, Valerian, Spider-Man.
I think we
Or
can all
wait,
agree that
yeah.
you're gonna lose.
Yeah, no beer for you.
I'm gonna win. It's not gonna be a thing. Thank you guys for watching another episode of CineWeek. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the past ones. I know a lot of friends and family right now are the ones that are
Thanks,
gonna be
guys.
watching. So thank you guys for all the support. Where can the good people find you, Katie?
Katy, oh, that's me, sorry. Wow, I don't know what's wrong with me. You can find me at Katy Gilligan on Facebook and Caterpins on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, Casey.
You can find me at essentially Casey Mason on Facebook, at Casey Mason on Instagram and Twitter. I got back on.
You got back on the Twitter?
I got back on the Twitter.
Tweets?
The only reason I am on Twitter right now is because Oliver Phelps liked my tweets. So.
Yay! Ransom.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Ransom Tyson, and I'm also on Twitter at Tyson Ransom.
Nice. As for me, I'm definitely going to start tweeting some more because I want to really put this CineWeek on blast. Look for it on Tyson Brothers Twitter. So thank you guys again for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
See ya.